colleagues, welcome back. We're out of the break now. I'm Klarissa. Let's get things started. This is my colleague, Katarina Mendez. And for our focus today, we're going to be focusing on the company Lululemon. For a show of hands, how many of y'all are familiar with Lululemon, heard of Lululemon, wear Lululemon? That's a good majority right there. All right, so basically we're just going to be focusing on how Lululemon basically use their leadership and how it affects our success, and then we're going to use them as an example to demonstrate this. For those of you consumers who aren't familiar with Lululemon and what they stand for, here's just a quick little rundown. Lululemon Athletica is a successful international retail chain. They're based out of Canada, and they market and sell anywhere like athletic apparel from yoga pants to running gear, beanies. And they're actually starting to come out with like more accessories such as backpacks, fanny packs, all that good stuff. But their overall vision can be interpreted as, and I quote, "To elevate the world from mediocrity to greatness." That's pretty powerful stuff right there. And not only is their motto powerful, but their leadership is something that they really strive to have something powerful, which takes us into our issue at hand. Taking place in 2014, Lululemon struggled with finding that powerful leadership that they really wanted to just implement in their culture and what they stand for. So that they really focused on leadership because it sets them apart in the retail world. I know there's other brands such as like Reebok and Nike and like we all were talking about earlier, but Lulu is just like one of the brands that is really set apart because of what they stand for, their values, and their leaderships that they try to uphold to. The previous change of a Lululemon CEO has created a negative shift in the culture, which is something that is just unacceptable in their eyes. The negative leadership role that has been displayed by the CEO has caused the core values to be seen as not even valued anymore. So it's basically like everything they stand for is kind of just went down the drain with the CEO just because they're so prideful in their values and he didn't stand for them. But within the newfound strong leadership, they recently just hired a new CEO. Their company culture can be reinvented and brought back to life in hopes to spread positivity back to their culture. So we chose to focus and research on Lululemon because we are athletes and we're dedicated Lululemon customers. We spend a lot of money there, so it was nice to see kind of what was going on behind the scenes more or less, and we share the same values as the company. So the company is really focused on just like peace, spreading positivity, and like light into other people's lives, and that's just something we can really get behind. Just how, like an example would be like Team Kaepernick, like how y'all focus on like equality, like kind of what Kaepernick stands for, like that's how Lululemon is as far as spreading positivity and light and all that good stuff. But yeah, we just wanted to see how such an established company can overcome new leadership and implement these new leadership things. And the broad audience who we are trying to connect with focuses on anyone from stakeholders to just simply the everyday fan of athleisure wear, from Lululemon to Reebok to Nike to anyone else. Moving on to our secondary research for Lululemon. So what we found is that Lululemon was among the first to kick off kind of what you'd call the athleisure frenzy when it was back, I think it was the beginning of 2000s. But with the success does come competition. As you can see here, here's some of the numbers. But this was the cause when competitors started investing in this market space. Lululemon was quickly criticized for the lack of innovation and struggled to keep customers willing to pay its high prices. But I mean, that really paid off in the end because their stocks are through the roof now. Everything has just gone through the roof due to their dedication, and that's going back to their core values is something they stand by. The sportswear retailer on Monday actually just announced that Pot Devon's resignation, the old CEO, is saying that he just fell short of conduct, and to respect employees and show integrity, they let him go because that's something they stand by. But Pot Devon's relationship, basically what happened was Pot Devon, the CEO, had a relationship with a former designer, and it just caused for all sorts of things. I know, like, if anybody's ever had a job, it's kind of inner workplace relationship is looked down upon, and it just causes for barriers just with and around the workplace. So yeah, he just demonstrated a lack of leadership all around, which is something that Lululemon does not stand for. But many former employees have actually said that he created a negative impact on the company's culture. For example, they described it as very toxic. But that's my take on it for the first set of secondary research. Here's my partner, Katarina.
Okay, I'm going to continue the secondary research. So the next thing we looked on was the new CEO that just took over in 2018. His name was Calvin McDonald. What he did was he brought in a bunch of new goals, a bunch of things that he wanted to implement. He wanted to bring Lulu back up to its success that it once had and take it even further. So, the stocks jumped 80% in the past year, and this was because there was net revenue rise of 23% from the previous year to $649.7 million in the first quarter. Sales increased 19%, driven by 8% rise in store sales and 62% jump in online sales. So this was a huge turnaround from what happened with Pot Devins, the previous CEO. It's that analysts hail it as one of the few shining stars, and they were just we really exceeded their expectations, because after years with Pot Devins, they weren't expecting us to turn around so quickly. So now I'm going to talk about our findings and our recommendations. So what did our secondary research tell us about these two CEOs and what they did to the company? So Laurent Potdevin, as soon as his relationship with the former designer came known, it showed it's his first lack of leadership in the company. This is because everyone knows if you're working in a company, especially CEO, everyone looks up to your CEO. If your other employees see that he is forming relationships with people that are working there instead of working on improving the company, they're wondering, well, what is he doing to help our company if he's focused on personal things and social things when he should be focused on the company? And that just sets a bad example for other employees. So when Laurent Potdevin initially came in, he had a good set of goals that he wanted to implement. He wanted to repair growth by maintaining leaner inventory, focused on selling directly to customers, and fostering a clearly defined brand. But did that happen? No. Our shares dropped 3% after the announcement of his relationship. Lululemon shares fell 1.5% during regular trading. So he came in with good goals, but after everything, he didn't implement the goals. He went a different way, and that really affected Lululemon's shares, their sales, the culture all around. Okay, so our findings on the new CEO, Calvin McDonald. So Calvin McDonald, he came in, he knew what he was doing, he implemented goals, he created a rise in Lululemon's success, and he was a perfect match, is what people said. Stuart Haselden from Financial Times said that he implemented product innovation, global growth, digital acceleration, and invested in our people, and that led to success. He also said that he rehabilitated firm's culture and expanded international presence. So he was doing a lot for the company. He knew what he was doing. He had previous experience, and he really worked hard, and people said he was a perfect match. Employees said he's an ideal match for Lululemon brand and culture, given strong customer mindset, performance-driven approach, and success at developing people. He knew how to work with sales, but he also knew how to work with his employees and the customers. He knew what they wanted. This is just a super short video talking about him.
Calvin McDonald, CEO of Sephora's America, is joining Lululemon as its new CEO effective August 20th, 2018. Back over to you.
Looks like he oversaw $15 billion in revenue, double-digit growth, led a mobile-first strategy. These are all points that Lululemon is trying to emphasize, Courtney. I mean, Lululemon has been actually a very strong, bright spot in the overall retail market. Even within the athleisure category, they've managed to outperform.
So basically that just proved everything that we said about our findings. Okay, now I'm going to move on to our recommendations. So what are our recommendations for Lulu? Kept it pretty simple. We wanted to implement a strict hiring process at Lululemon. This will ensure that people like Laurent Potdevin do not come back in. We're gonna get new employees and CEOs, anyone that needs a job, managers. We're gonna go through a stricter process to ensure that we know who's coming in and that we can keep safe from something like a scandal that happened with Laurent Potdevin. So what are some of the things that we can do for a strict hiring process? We can ask questions. We came up with a few questions like, does this person build relationships both within and outside the company? has he or she already handled certain responsibilities handled by a CEO? Do they know what they're doing? Have they done this before? Do we know that they can do it again? Has this person won support of people at the company? Do the people in the company trust in this person to do what they say that they can do? They didn't trust Laurent Potdevin, they said that, and they said that they do like this guy, they think that he's there for the right reasons. Has the person promoted good people? Do they bring in good people, good resources? Do you trust who they're talking to? Have others grown under his or her leadership? That's the first thing you're going to want to look at, because if they have led people in the right direction before, you know that they can probably do it again. So I'm going to hand it back to my partner, Klarissa, to finish with the conclusions.
Appreciate that, Kat. So basically, all in all, the moral of the story here is when you have good leadership, your culture is going to be just set up for success. So like you could see Lululemon, I mean, this is a perfect example from Potdevin with his scandals to such a successful CEO and the stocks going up. It just really proves that with a strong leader and a strong implement of leadership, that your culture just will strive to success. But thank y'all. Anybody have questions, comments, concerns?